take it in another direction. The problem is that means either it leads towards a Dust 2, which again TYLOO are good at, although Tiger are as well, so maybe TYLOO will ban it, or an Overpass, which again, I'm going to give that over to TYLOO every single time. I think that's the problem. If it goes to 3, I don't really see a way that Tiger actually win this, because I don't think their map was deep enough.
I think I disagree on the Overpass thing. I think Tiger pretty okay at Overpass. I think coming down to the third map, we seen yesterday, TYLOO definitely have a lot of holes on Overpass. And I think Tiger have shown that they can play the map. And they don't have the fear against TYLOO. That's something Tiger don't really have, and have never really had it against any of the teams near the top. You know, no one never had the mental block against anyone. So I feel like the third map, because of how TYLOO actually respect Tiger on Overpass, it's gonna have to be, and it's the other way around this time.
Tiger disagree with you.
Yeah, that's strange though.
TYLOO actually banned out Nuke. Interesting, right? Like throughout the entire group stage, they've been testing playing Nuke, and now they've reached the finals. They're like, guys, do we really know how to play Nuke, or are we just going to try it out and train?
That is interesting, though, because the last time around, it played out the exact opposite way in those final few map bans. And I feel like it's kind of strange how we just see the confidence shift with these Asian teams just as games go on. It's like, oh, we're good at this map. Oh, we're not good at this map. No one really knows how good they are.
Have barely played Overpass, and they've beaten Checkmate, who we've pretty much said throughout the tournament have a really weak map pool, and that's their main weakness. So I wouldn't be feeling confident on Overpass either if I was them.
Well, we're going to be... so go on, Tinker. We still got a couple minutes.
Yeah, well, heading into Inferno, that's what we've generally talked about probably being the best performing map for TYLOO right now. So I think it's like Tom says, it gets very scary for Tiger.
I think Tiger have to win 2-0.
Yeah, and they have a good chance now that TYLOO have given them train. That's exactly what Tiger would want, right? And then Mirage, that's been a map that's been real shaky for TYLOO across this tournament. So there is a chance here for Tiger. They know how to play Mirage. They're very good on train, and that's something that TYLOO have been banning against pretty much every other team in this tournament. So this kind of sets it up nicely for Tiger to have a good chance of winning this first 2 maps. And like Tom said, I feel like they have to do it in the first 2.
Mitch, if you look at the maps, right, apart from Train, Mirage and Inferno, if you just look at the stats and look at the numbers, it does favor TYLOO quite heftily. But at the same time, Tiger, they made quick work of Invictus yesterday, right? They had a lot of time to prep for whichever it was going to be, Vici or TYLOO. And I feel like this map veto kind of is one of the most easier map vetoes to predict. They should have had an idea that if they let Mirage through, TYLOO's probably going to pick it, that Train would probably come up, and Inferno could have been a decider. It's very likely that they already had this kind of mapped out earlier yesterday. So they have time to have prepped. What do they need to change up when it comes to either Mirage or maybe both the maps, Inferno and Mirage, to kind of get the win here over Tiger? Anything you notice flaws-wise for Tiger earlier?
I mean, honestly, I think one of the main things when you look at this this Tiger lineup, I wouldn't really criticize the Mirage all too heavily. They lost that in overtime, from what I remember. At least it was really close. 1916, they lost in overtime. So it's realistically not that terrible of a map for them. I'd say they've got a good chance when it comes to that. My concern is really when it goes to Inferno. It's where we saw TYLOO wake up. It's a third map, which is generally where TYLOO wake up anyways. And what we saw last time was just this really, like, Urkas leading the charge and no one else really turning up with him. Really weak B holds as well. They weren't going in for the aggression and getting map control. It feels like there's just
Mitch,
a lot
I'm
missing
sorry to
for
cut
them.
you off. I think we're about to jump into the game. I think we have everything ready. So lower bracket finals here. Everything on the line for these two teams. Mitch, Tom, take it away.
0 Tiger.
Oh, we're throwing in predictions there. 2-0 Tiger.
I think we already knew who was going to predict what. Like, I imagine Blair's probably gone with TYLOO. Although, you never know. If he has a Tiger jersey, he might switch halfway through the match. I'm actually going to say 2-0 TYLOO. I know that's bold, but I think they're going to come back with a vengeance today. And that's the thing. No one beats TYLOO, really. Like, not when it matters. So Vici have done that yesterday. I think they're going to come in strong here. They managed to beat Vici on train. I don't see why they can't beat Tiger on train. Sure, Tiger did beat Vici yesterday, but I think we pretty much all agreed that that was more down to Vici's mistakes rather than Tiger playing amazingly well and like destroying them or anything like we'd seen previously. So we are going to be getting into this one. It is the elimination match, the lower bracket final. One of these teams is heading home, the other heads off to the finals.
Indeed they do, and well, we're already heading off down to the B site where they've managed to get that bomb planted despite slowly still having control over upper. He's tapped away at 2 and pulled this round off for TYLOO pretty much. A close range fight with USPs, reloads having to come in, but slowly, well, he swings back around that corner quite quickly, and this is getting a little bit awkward. Urcast, well, he's coming out, he's got 20 seconds, just needs to delay and stop them from going for the defuse. No kit currently in play. It doesn't make a difference because they find the kill in time. And that's going to be the defuse coming through for TYLOO as they take the pistol 1-0 here on Train. The opening map and the map pick of Tiger. The one where we give Tiger the upper hand. The next two definitely do look better for TYLOO. It was a close game last time they played on Mirage. Inferno was a little bit more one-sided. But here's where Tiger can get that one map advantage and maybe pull off the upset and knock TYLOO out. They've lost the pistol round, but Tom, as always, they managed to get a bomb plant, and that means they've got their rifles out.
Yeah, it means they've got the better purchase, of course. But yeah, I'm interested to see if we can get that same sort of mode that we had previously coming out of Tiger, because that versus Invictus yesterday, I don't think they did anything complicated. I don't think they did anything really like out of the ordinary. It was just everybody on their team was performing, and I don't think we've seen that from them at all throughout the rest of the tournament. So if they can manage that again, maybe they can beat TYLOO. But that's the thing, it's still a maybe. There's weaknesses on an individual level when you look at the Vici roster. Like we spoke about Zoking yesterday being fantastic in the later games. In the earlier games, he wasn't that great, and they still won that series. So for TYLOO, if you're looking for weaknesses, good luck. Like, I guess it's just over-aggression. That's their weakness. It's not the players themselves. It's that they seem to just have some sort of brain aneurysm every once in a while. Urkast, oh dear. Oh, I'm worried for him. He's the man with the deagle. Somebody eventually is going to end up peaking. Yeah, you know it's going to happen. And for now, in fact, he's being patient, Mitch. This is making me more uncomfortable.
Well,
there we go.
That's not gone too well when he eventually swings. And, you know, we saw somebody just yesterday. He was coming out of Ivy, swinging for Vici, taking a triple kill versus a full buy with an MP9. That was one of the most ridiculous plays that I've ever seen. 2 of the which were through smoke. And then the other was a dry peek that he still managed to win on range. It was true filth, and this might be true filth as well for Slowly. He's been good in the pistol round, and he's good in the rifle, as he takes a double before they eventually deal with him. The smoke providing the cover for Cabal to swing and save his teammates, getting the bomb plant down and leaving it into a 2 versus 3 retake. TYLOO with the man advantage, but Urcast, he's got the position, but he pulls a molly out right after, allowing Dan King to get the trade and leave Cabal all by his lonesome. A difficult one to deny them. They've got plenty of time, but Dan King now alone. Attacker was low, and he's quickly dealt with. 1-1. Tiger answer back on the force buy.
Yeah, that was a round that really wasn't looking like it was going to go their way after the initial kill and the play on ramp. Nice shot from NCL. Realistically, we gotta wait to see if they can convert this. These are the TYLOO sort of buys that they managed to make work. Obviously, a lot more rifles coming up for Tiger, so they should be able to convert this one. Obviously, I think it's integral that they got off to a good start today, as they're gonna need it. Like TYLOO, I'm sure. Like we talk about them like having fun and being a bit silly sometimes. I don't think they're going to jeopardize the chance to get into the grand final. These guys seem to love to play ridiculous amount of Counter-Strikes all day. Is it Counter-Strikes? Counter-Strike. I don't like early mornings, as you can tell.
Oh, it's not that early for you, Tom. Don't be dramatic.
8 a.m.'s early for me.
Oh, it's 6 a.m. for me. This is the middle of the night in my brain. But, yeah, I know. I completely agree. TYLOO love making the days long. Of making it difficult for themselves based on what we've seen in the past. You know, these guys, they do not believe in 2 zeros. They don't know what they are. They're like, wait, we don't have to give them a map? What? They thought it was just polite. Maybe that's it. Maybe they've just got great manners. They're like, no, you take one. Look, you did well. You're not that bad. But yeah, We'll see if that's going to be the same thing here, or if they'll actually be able to deal with it. I look, Tiger are a difficult opponent when they're turning up, and right now, the forced buy for TYLOO, that was so close. We know they're so good with Deagles, but it doesn't look like anything's going to go their way. Urcast and NCL, both very, very low HP. The CZs might be able to upgrade at least this weapon onto NCL if somebody goes the right way. Oh, he's come out. He's found the bomb. He's whiffed it a little bit, though, allowing Urcast to trade. This is winnable. 100% this is winnable if he wins the first fight, and he's done it. We're swinging out into a player that's free-firing him. But they win by 20 HP. That is a very close round. But it comes with a big reward, as now there's an eco for TYLOO.
Yeah, this is the moment where, realistically, we should start seeing the money build up for the T side. It's always a bit uncomfortable in these rounds, like a moment or two goes the other way, and it easily could have gone back in the other direction. But doesn't really matter. Slowly's actually invested a bit more into this round than I would have liked. Their loss bonus isn't particularly high, so it either means he's playing an SMG in the next round, or a rifle with no armor, or not no armor, no nades, and no head armor. Which normally wouldn't matter, but with this many MAC-10s currently in play, it could be a bit of an issue. They're going to be coming through into the connector, just chunking a few of these players. They are walking straight into a stack, so they do have to be a little bit careful here. Summer's just won versus a MAC-10 with the USP. And Dobu, that was quite nice. A bit of a corrective spray. Still got to be careful. There's another man on the site, and Dobu is desperately low. I'd quite like to see him hand off the rifle to somebody a little bit healthier, but it is just going to be players falling left, right, and center. This is meant to be the money-making round. Instead, Summer's now got an AK, slowly still has his deagle from earlier, and Cabal in quite an audacious position, but they are going to win the duels. 3-1 in favor of Tiger, but it has not been clean.
No, no, it really hasn't. And for TYLOO, you know, your objective in that previous round was just to do damage and make sure Tiger don't walk out of it clean. And I think they've definitely met that objective quite cleanly, quite easily. Now the chance to capitalize off the back of it. They come into the full bite, an AWP in the hands of Danking. It is glass cannon, though. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. You're up against mostly AKs, and with all the ranged duels on offer, you can definitely use that up. What is going on here? The faster play towards ramp by Cabal. He hasn't got any support on it. He was just posting up. I was worried he would run straight down and challenge slowly on the B side, and his B side hold has been very, very good. Not just in this match, but in all the train series that we've seen so far. Danking, he's been flashed, but not smoked. He misses the first shot, but connects on the second. He actually didn't even miss. I think he lagged the player. But even despite that, you get a bomb plant and a pretty hefty advantage in towards the Tiger side. Especially, look at all the smokes they had left. They've got massive map control.
They're going to be a flash for 9, or is he just going to walk straight through this smoke?
No, he's got
a
player,
teammate supporting in. Urcus coming in from behind. This round is over. There's no real chance for the remaining players of TYLOO. Unfortunately, somebody's flank didn't really do too much, and Danking, he kind of needs to find a way out of here, which he will, in towards CT. His teammate also covering off for Urcus. Again, there's not really any money actually being made in these rounds, and, well, Danking goes facing back in and ends up losing his life. So, AWP gone, TYLOO 1-4 down, and Tiger starting to really build a case for themselves on this T side.
Definitely, they managed to save over that op as well, which is a little boost to their economy that they could definitely use considering all the weapons they're losing. And TYLOO, well, there's question marks here. Now, we talk about Slowly's B hold. Well, he didn't get a lot done there. Danking on support, missed the flick after being flashed. And they only found one player as they gave up the B bomb site and 2 picks. Was Danking out for a Sunday drive there? I don't know what was happening. He had his back turned towards T main. Never really a great idea. That was the easiest pick of 9's life. Of all of his 9 lives.
Why is he a cat now?
Why not? They are Tiger, aren't they?
That's true. Oh, this round's not going too well. Summer with the saved AK still in play. Let's managed to pick off one. He had a fair few rough series yesterday. Definitely one of the quieter performers for TYLOO. I think he might have even heard the steps of a player running in towards this B site. Maybe not. Cabal catches him and attacker, you
What
bad
the hell?
Up the ladder, through the fire, and straight into the pits of hell.
Well, at least he's been revived coming into this round. TYLOO, they've got themselves an op again on Dan King. This time he can actually afford a little bit of armor alongside it. And when he gets that little bit better with the loss bonus, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of that loss bonus for too long, or your opponents are going to have too many rounds. And 5 already on the board for the T side. It is stopping time for TYLOO. They've got to stop Tiger here and now. As Tiger, well, they're not going quite as direct as they did previously. They've spread out quite a bit. They're looking for map control. They're AFK, actually. So I guess we're going to reset this round then. Oh no, Urcast has been damaged. Was it called before that? Oh, we're getting lots of typing. Who knows what's going on? I believe they're asking for a reset, but with Urcast damaged, I don't know if it's allowed. And it doesn't look like it is, so they're going to have to play this one out.
Definitely an interesting position. Somebody going to be aggressive. The flashbang is so good from Summer. He goes for the repeat without one, though. Probably not the start Tiger were looking for. Got 45 seconds to make a play here. Somebody's going to win that duel as well. And Dan King's found another. They're starting to slaughter the remaining men of Tiger. A second round looking very likely indeed. Dobu and NCL. The only ones remaining. Nice shot from Dobu, but... NCL, I don't know. It was almost like him just watching onward to see if his teammate would be able to get anything done. Might have been better if they went together, but you know what? Never mind. 5-2. Tiger have got plenty of cash to actually buy back into this round anyway. But for TYLOO, at least that one was relatively clean. They will have built up a little bit of extra cash. Make sure they can get all the utility going into this next round. No weaponry pieces missing either. I think they only lose one man in the end, and of course, it's somebody. No surprises there.
Yeah, for TYLOO, it was definitely a cleaner round, but I don't want to read too much into it. Tiger obviously had that unfortunate start. They couldn't get any early aggression like we're seeing right now due to the player or whatever tech issues they were being hindered by. Urcast again losing a lot of HP in the early round. Where's that? Then towards T main as well?
Yeah, I think so.
He's been very unfortunate on those picks. And off this now, Tiger, they've lost a lot of control. They've actually given up T main. Oh, I like that read, but unfortunately that wall's a little bit too chunky, a little bit too thick to really allow too much, but eventually he gets him in. Fantastic work. I've rarely seen that as a reaction to the flash and the aggression from the CT side. Just have two players spam through the wall, but you can see it definitely has its merits.
Oh! Urka's almost just burned to death. He's on 4 HP now. He's definitely caught almost every single nade humanly possible. They're going to make the switch up to Ivy. Now, this position is currently completely negated by the CT side. You only really have somebody watching it from afar. Now, Summer's got aggressive. This A main position is going to be super valuable to them if it comes down to an afterplant spot. It looks like he's even getting tempted to potentially peek into things. He's trying to play the anti-flash, make sure he doesn't get caught by any nades, but he's going to get caught by a headshot instead. And somebody's screwed here. There's no way he should get away with anything. Even the first kill seems more than enough. Eventually, 9 is there to kill him off. And with seconds to spare, they're going to get the bomb plant down. Dan King a little bit too late to the party, and unfortunately, this again should just be a save from him.
And onwards we go. TYLOO. You know, once Tiger don't have that early disadvantage, in terms of obviously having the players AFK. They're able to come through, take that early fight, and it was the position that they had, right? They were aggressive in team main. They lost a lot of HP on Urcast, who falls back. They give up control. The smoke, the flash comes through. They react perfectly in taking the attacker down through the wall. And that's also going to, well, I'm not even going to try that. I was going to say that's also going to stop TYLOO from maybe playing quite as aggressive in towards that position, but at the same time, it's TYLOO, so what am I talking about? Danking, luckily able to find that. Urcast dies to the bomb. They lose Dobu to Danking, so there are a couple of losses for the T side, but at the end of the day, these dudes have got 6 rounds. And I think we're already looking at a very good T side. And things going to be going from bad to worse. If you're TYLOO, they've got to be winning this, and a double op setup going to be pulled out. I mean, this kind of screams desperation. On a map like Train, obviously completely viable. But the fact that they're going down to it in the 9th round, being 6-2 down, they've got... Oh, no. That's not how you want this one to start.
Summer, though, has been, like, when we've seen the very few occasions he's been allowed to have an AWP, he has been an absolute beast with it. There is going to be a player there, and, well, never mind, I guess. Complete whiff, and this is just getting out of control. They seem to get caught on every single angle they try and fight. Like, somebody is maybe able to get one in a couple of positions, but he then refaces most angles. The B-site hold has not been great for them. It still looks like an uncomfortable map, and I am starting to question whether or not yesterday's performance versus Vici was more Vici just letting things slip rather than TYLOO actually playing well, because at the moment, Tiger are dismantling them.
Well, even looking at how they play out that round, though, I think Tiger are playing the perfect anti-TYLOO. 2 players Ivy, 2 players upper B, 1 passive in team main. They make sure that wherever they're taking fights, whatever control they're actually going for, they have 2 players there, because you will need to trade out, because TYLOO will push you. And that's something that I think most teams have been doing completely incorrectly, in that you would have the Ivy push, you would have a kill off of it, and that player would be able to get out of there alive. Whereas this time, he's traded out. And that's what I like to see. They're actually adapting to what's previously been something that screwed them over.
We'll see if Dan King can get anything done with this AWP and the Deagles on the remaining players as well. Again, this slower default being pulled out by Tiger. Playing patient, and that's what they've really needed to do. Patience seems to be key when playing against TYLOO, because they do just start to get itchy feet, start going for ballsier and ballsier plays as the round goes on. You have to think of most of the picks that were caught in like the buy rounds, like players being shot through the wall because they were aggressive in A main, players pushing up into B. Ivy's been another one. Ivy's been a prominent one. Somebody getting caught so many times trying to go for aggressive peaks in rounds that realistically they should be winning. Think about the force buy in round number 2. That should have been their round. Danking, though, he's well placed. And this is a terrifying prospect. The fact that he's managed to get 2 kills in a round that they don't have much else. As rifles potentially available. And Dobu actually does get tagged up. I'm not sure what by. Maybe the Deagle, I suppose. He should have a free kill onto Danking. That's something at least. Bringing things back into their favor. Dobu, he's been looking good so far. And after plant position, he may be tagged. And there's a couple of AKs now that they have to deal with as well. But 9 has already turned this into their favor. A 5-on-3 turned just to 2. Somebody, he hasn't got much done so far this game. And NCL, he's going to push into him. Slowly in the meantime, has somehow found 2 kills back. But the time is running out. And he doesn't have a kit. He needs this kill within the next 3 seconds. Otherwise, the round is over. And it is.
There you go. They're running away time for Slowly. Gonna save over the AWP at least. He's got enough HP to survive this. And so we conclude it with Tiger taking another 8 rounds on the board. I mean, this T side, say what you will about Tiger and their CT side being weak. I think 8 rounds is more than enough at this point to feel confident Let alone the fact that obviously there's still 5 to play for, Tom. So with the way things have been going, we could be seeing double digits for this T side before they even have to swap over. And that's a really scary thought. I mean, TYLOO, they won the pistol, didn't they? Pretty sure TYLOO won the pistol.
They won the pistol, lost the force by.
And then won the third, if I'm remembering correctly. It was like 2-1. No, it wasn't, sorry. I'm hallucinating. But still,
about to say, I don't remember that bit.
yeah, thinking of yesterday probably. But yeah, oh no, of course the third round came very close. It was where there was a 1v1 in the end, but they ended up losing it to the very low HP players.
Oh, let's see if they can beat Danking this time. He's missed his initial shot and just decides to fall back. Slowly realizes, but what? Why have you let him? He just let him die basically by falling all the way back. He could have just held the angle and helped his teammate, but well, he decided not to. That's I don't know, a bit of an odd one, but I guess they've come out on top. Summer has managed to rectify the situation. I feel like that's the teammate that's like, no, I've got lower. Are they pushing? I'm falling back.
Well, this is a great angle being held by Urkast. Can we just watch him for a second? Look at that. Fantastic. So nobody can... If Casper the Ghost joins the CT side, he's screwed if he tries to push through that wall. Eventually, he reconnects his mouse, and we're good to go. But 25 seconds left. I mean, they had wanted to go back towards the A site, but in all this delay... Somebody ends up in Ivy, where he's got a very good position now to deny a bomb plant, and I really don't see how this one works out for Tiger at this point. I think whatever small tech issue just hit Urkast is completely cost them this round. No!
What are you doing?
Knife out! Luckily, Attacker managed to win that one, but what was that? He just takes his knife out and runs at the other player. What a lunatic.
See, I didn't see. Like, I don't know if we saw the fact. Can we see that from Attacker's point of view? Did he actually did he kill the player behind and then kill the bomb planter, or while shooting at the bomb planter, did he kill the player behind? Oh no, he does.
Wow.
That's really sick from Attacker. I like that. Like, that's a smart play, because your instinct is to just kill the guy planting the bomb, but to kill the guy behind first obviously means there's absolutely no way that he loses the round. That was something that we mentioned the other day in a 2v2 clutch that I think was lost by Vici, where they're targeting the man planting the bomb to win the round rather than the player who could actually kill them. So intelligent stuff. TYLOO do get their third, but the thing is, all the rounds that they're winning are incredibly scrappy rounds, and I feel like there's like massive holes that they're a little bit lucky to get away with. Like, as said, you have Danking holding the lower ramp. He gets forced back by a flash and then just runs away. Like, I know he went to watch up. I know that was the point. But the main threat to Slowly is lower. He just lets him get killed and just, well, okay, we'll clean up the mess. I don't like that as a strategy. It seems like this might be more of a VPN problem or something, because it seems like the whole team has left. Either that or they've gone on strike midway through the map. But they are winning, so I'd be surprised by that.
Well, this pause, evidently, we did have some tech issues over on the Tiger side. You can see that. Well, the players disappearing. No, this is not Houdini's team. This is just a quick reconnect. Quick jump out, jump in, and they'll be ready to dive on into this game. Now, this double op set up somebody in Danking. I feel like towards the B side, there's been massive weakness. And in a way, that's just due to Tiger having good executes onto the side. They get their flashes over. They blind up Danking. He just RNG misses the shot every time that they've gone. But Slowly hasn't been able to do nearly as much as what we've seen in the past. And obviously, previous round, it was Danking who like Slowly thought he had the cover on the right side, but Danking had just kind of walked away, whistling to himself, having a look around the site while Slowly gets pushed and killed. Now, if I'm Tiger, I'd probably go and come in with a heavier commit towards that B site. Maybe not this round, but just generally, that looks like the
only thing I would say is I don't disagree with you even slightly, but the A site is also really poor. Like we're talking about how this defense from TYLOO has been awful. Like their A site almost revolves around somebody getting aggressive. Like that's the A site defense. That's the decision that they've made. Like it's a peculiar one. I think Summer's just been playing more of a rotational role, and Attacker every time he tries to attack, he seems to get owned. I'm interested by what went on in the early stages of this round, because we had somebody go over to Ivy and Danking went there as well. And now Danking's just rotated off and decided he's playing somewhere else. They've just double smoked Pop. Is there any communication going on for TYLOO whatsoever?
I genuinely...
Like, it seemed like both players decided they were playing the same position, and now both players have smoked the same position again. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it does feel like definitely they're kind of going, oh, someone needs to cover Ivy. I'll do it, but that's in their head, and then they both turn up there and go, but I'll go cover connector, I suppose. Like this really awkward. It's like when you turn up to a party and someone's wearing your shirt, and you just got to strip naked. Just got to go for it.
Or just wear the same shirt.
No, that's not an option.
I've never understood that as a thing. Like on like a broadcast or something, I can kind of get it, but like, who cares? Well, Attacker is going to start things off. It's definitely a weaker buy. A Tiger finally starting to run out of cash, and they're running out of time as well. Dobu is going to lead the charge. He just walked into the scope of somebody. And while 9, he needs 5 kills to win this round. And surprisingly, he's not going to be able to do it. The stack on the A side this time working out. I do think, although the initial manner of which they set things up was odd, that TYLOO had a fairly decent idea of that being an A push, because you can see that every other round they've at least played someone in the connector so that they could have a quick rotation. This round they were just committed to the A site.
Funny point, actually, Tom. Why is it a big deal to wear the same shirt, but not like you don't? If people have the same shoes, you're like, hey, nice, bro, we got the same shoes. Same for trousers. What if you got the same hair? If you got your hair styled the same way, no one says anything. But shirt, that's where you draw the line.
Oh my god. The Glock train has done quite a lot of damage. Some of those, he sorted things out. The AWP's going to be retrieved. To be fair, in North Korea, you're only allowed to have a very few hairstyles, so you almost have to have the same hair.
I will go ahead, Tom, and not judge our social concepts off of anything North Korea does, to be honest.
I don't know, it might be great. Have you been?
You have a very small selection of haircuts and food as well, I suppose.
Hey, from the inside, I've heard it's a paradise.
Sure. Why don't you move there, Tom?
Busy that day.
So I do like the setup TYLOO had there. They've gone for a 3-man stack up on B early on. Got one player aggressive on the ramp and one playing the bottom. And you can see it really distracted Cabal's crosshair. He comes in. He's like, oh, I'll take the fight and the guy in the bottom. Oh, wait, there's one close, and he flicks between them. And ends up getting taken down. It's a good start for TYLOO. Something. Oh, nice nade. That was huge. Oh, somebody's gone down through the smoke. This could pull back. But Summer's going huge. A quick triple shuts down any sort of idea of this A site going Tiger's way. And, well, we talked about the potential for them to get double digits, Tom, but that no longer exists.
As said, Summer yesterday was actually throughout this tournament, I feel like he's been one of the more underwhelming players. You look over to some of their matches yesterday, like back to train, 17 and 18, 15 to 25 on Mirage. Had a decent game of Overpass, to be fair, versus Vici. But this map already, he's looking at one of the best players in the server. Like, he's had multiple spray downs. It's saved him in a couple of rounds now. And it seems like he's building up confidence, which, as said, like, if he's someone that can get going, he is a terrifying prospect. Now, Urkus has managed to kill him off at the beginning of the round, of course. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this play at all. That's so unnecessarily risky from somebody. Attacker now has to be the one to try and turn this round back on its head. Body spotted by Danking. Now they're going to have the site almost for free. There's not really any defense of it now. The bomb yet to make the cross. An attacker, he's going to have a lot of information. I think Danking's dead here. And yeah. Oh, what? That was a no-scope flick by Urkus. I need to see that incredible slow motion because that looked like it was very quick indeed. Slowly, it's last round. He might as well go for it. 1 versus 4. Smoked off. And why? It seems like 9 is watching the smoke. And Urkus is going to be the one to hit the shot anyway. 9-6. Very good T-side half. TYLOO at least bringing things back a little bit towards the end with a 4-round streak. Ultimately, I think it's fair to say Tiger been by far the better team.
Yeah, I think you're definitely dead on that one. Looking at the position of 9-6, Tiger have earned the advantage they come into this map with. That was just disgusting. Urkas using this as an op-DM. Yeah, 9 rounds T-side's fantastic. It's really difficult to beat that if you're TYLOO, and especially on this map. You know, if we're looking at this as a Mirage, I think we definitely agree with them. They can make that comeback, but when it comes to train, the disadvantage is huge. This pistol needs to go their way, and they've already taken a loss to start it off with Danking falling. The smoke's down. Dobu, oh, he's got the position that allows his teammate to push through the site, but then 9 gets dropped by the Glock. So too does Cabal, but the trades are there to keep the man advantage in play for them. Somebody, somehow, avoiding all damage, and oh, well, not when that nade comes through. My god, he's 1 HP. The dude's basically dead, even though attackers found a kill. He's got to do so much more, and there's a flank coming through Ivy. That should be a free kill, but no! He's fallen, and it comes down to the 1v1. The HP's still so low. Urkas can't finish it off! What? Somebody in there with the head to close it out. 9-7 TYLOO. How have they gotten away with that round, Tom?
That man has no fear. I genuinely think you could get him to jump out of a plane without a parachute. Like he has no fear whatsoever. Like most people, when they have 1 HP, they're a little bit like on edge. They're a little bit worried. He just wide peeks and one taps him. He's a lunatic, but you've got to love it. You've got to love that play from somebody. Double scout SMGs purchased up by Tiger. They do not want to allow these rounds to swing back. Now, they did manage to win the second round in the last half, although obviously that's the T-side bomb plant buy, which is basically just a full buy. Well, this one, not quite as good, but the double scout definitely can work. It's going to be Dobu with one alongside Cabal, who had some extra cash coming in from the last round. So he's got Kevlar alongside his. It does mean there's severe limitations to their utility, but let's be real, it's probably not going to come down to that.
So, Tom, 9-7. I'm in this weird boat. You know, in context of it being TYLOO and them winning the pistol. I mean, if they win this, they're 9-9. Because obviously it's the force by a Tiger. This is a very important round. They've started it with a B push into Urkas, who was alone, and the rotates took way too long there, Tom. Because Urkas had already heard and seen players, and we've just had a jump scout attempt. I haven't seen that in years, but yeah, he'd already seen players towards upper B, and they left him solo still. That's a bit of a mistake in my books.
I'm still trying to hunt down what is mostly just minor weaponry. And the loss on their side would be rifles. This is not something I'm comfortable with from TYLOO. I get maybe the confidence, but this is just silly now. You've lost an extra Galil for absolutely no reason at all. I almost wonder if there's a point where Dan King's like, oh no, I lost a Galil. I will have to wait and buy an AWP next round. But yeah, that Galil's been retrieved with Kevlar as well. We'll see how much damage it does. I almost want like Tiger to win this round just as like a, yeah, probably don't do that again, TYLOO sort of moment. But You know, that's something we've come to expect from them. They're going to purchase up with an extra couple of AKs, and only the one Galil now remaining on Summer. They actually triple-naded the bomb train. I quite like that. A position that can be quite awkward to clear, especially when you go maneuvering into the site. And when there's an eco, it's something that's quite commonly played. Here is that Galil. The Galil's found two. Very costly. That one peek out from Danking has cost them 2 extra guns in this round. In other words, that one peek has lost them 3 guns. Luckily, the chance of them losing this round is slim, but Cabal has just managed to find a headshot with the scout. Maybe it's not over just yet.
Maybe a chance, a small opportunity for Dobu. 1v2, 35 seconds. I mean, the clock is ticking on this round. He's got to get a move on. Summers just managed to sneak over the yellow train. And I think at this stage, the round is over. He needs to connect this shot immediately, and it's just too difficult an angle. 9-9. TYLOO have managed to tie this one up, and I think we have to really be impressed by the fact that they're back equalized. But at the same time, Tiger's advantage here, CT side. We do talk a lot about how Tiger on the CT side ain't all too great. And this buy round, if it doesn't go their way, I think then I'm back in the TYLOO camp to win this round, or to win this map. Considering at one stage, Tom, they were 8-2 down. To now be equalized as well, I think the momentum is most certainly in their favor.
Oh no, Dover's just been caught. He does actually still manage to get away with a kill. He's so blind. And that's the bomb as well. The bomb's just dropped in the middle of the site. This is a slaughter. The second the rifles come in, it looked like a good start at least. And sure, Summer's going to get one, but that will be all. Great resurgence from Tiger to get their lead back. And with the amount of damage that's been done over the last few rounds, TYLOO don't have enough money to buy.
No, they don't. It's going to have to just be that light one out of them, a few pistols. They can maybe go for the faster B play with smokes. I do wonder though, you know, a round like that, you send your bomb out first to wide swing through smokes onto the A site. I don't know, Tom. It's not, I'm not an IGL, but it wouldn't be my call. They've gone for a hero rifle and picked up an opening kill with Dobu falling. I mean, it's a good start for TYLOO at the very least. A good start, and we'll see if they can continue it on. What I'm surprised about at this point, though, Tom, is even though they've got a smoke and a flash left, they're not grouping up. They're not looking to push towards the site just yet. But as I say that, we see them shift gear and move towards upper B.
And this is the sort of round Tiger cannot afford to lose. And why? It could pretty much be a turning point in the game if it does happen. 9, very good position. Danking taking a seemingly unwinnable duel. The rest of the team are now seemingly a little bit hesitant as to where they're going to be going. Summer with the rifle utility. It's going to try and fake things out. Attacker has now got an AK of his own. 35 seconds left on the clock. There's actually only 2 players on this site. Spam coming down, and CL with a nice spray is going to get himself a couple, and it's left all onto Summer. Sure, he has a rifle. Sure, he's been good, but this is not possible. 11-9, Tiger. They take themselves a further lead, and the T's still can't buy. They spent way too much money in the last round.
Yeah, I was thinking that, to be honest, when I saw them go in for that that heavy of an investment. The hero rifle from Attacker in particular surprised me. And now we come into this one, and you can see they're just going to have a couple of pistols. Really odd that TYLOO decided to take... I mean, in a way it is, but I think Blair said yesterday that TYLOO have got the highest rate of force buy wins in the world.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Hawker said that like last week, and then Dinko said it yesterday. I think it was like 25 or something like 25 point something percent.
Jeez, that is a tad ridiculous.
But at the same time, you have to start the question. I guess it works both ways. They probably have the most attempted force buys as well.
Which is even more impressive than that they've got
That's
the highest
bomb.
rate.
That is the bomb.
Yeah.
Why?
They did this as well in the last time that they pushed out on a full buy.
But at least they all went together. Like
True.
that one irritates me, but at the same time, if they were all pushing out on the site and the guy with the bomb gets caught, I'd like, that's bad luck, I would say. I don't think that's necessarily an awful play if the whole team pushes somewhere and the bomb goes down.
Yeah.
If the bomb solo pushes out A main, that's just dumb. Like that's just dumb. Like there's nothing other than that to say. Like you've just given the bomb over in a round where you now don't have a chance. Dan King also going up on the elevated angle means that they've made noise, so they should definitely know on the CT side they're here. Slowly, though. That's a tasty little shot. I like the fallback, but he's going to go through the Molotov. He's already hit 2, but the third won't quite go his way. Dan King's on a retrieval mission to try and pick up that bomb. Ultimately, nothing's going to come of it. So they're finally going to have a buy. Like I think there's been some serious mismanagement of the economy for TYLOO. I'm pretty sure they're a team with like a couple of coaches, multiple analysts, and 5 players who've been playing this game for longer than Dinko's been alive, but they still couldn't quite work out the finances of Counter-Strike. Even though it tells you how much money you're going to get, and all you have to do is some basic math.
Well, you know what? Basic math can be hard at times, Tom. Let's not be too cruel. That's a great nade early on. 9 oh my god. Well, it didn't matter about the nade because he's headshot him with an AK. He's absolutely wrecked him. And a 5 versus 4. No, Urcast. No, naughty boy. That's not what you want to do. Up the ladder we go for dope. He's caught attacker with a nade in his hand. Of course he has. A 4v3 after. They haven't even... They've got 2 picks on B, Tom, and they haven't made a single move towards the B side.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mind that, to be honest. They've taken their time for once, which is a very almost anti-TYLOO-esque thing to do. Maybe realizing the severity of this situation. If they lose this map, they're 1 away from being eliminated from the tournament. And wow, they've already lost 1 RMR event. That was a surprise to us already. They were eliminated by Invictus, I believe. Now there's a possibility, and I don't know what's just happened, but they've lined up perfectly for Cabal. Their man advantage quickly dwindles, and NCL, he's in a prime position here to ruin their day. A free kill to deny the plant, and a second as well. Fantastic stuff from NCL. A 13th on the board, a round that was looking so good for TYLOO. And it all slips away.
Onwards we go. Into the fray yet again. 13-9, and a very disappointing... If you're TYLOO in that position, and you found 2 opening kills, and then you lose the round, you're kicking yourself. You really are, and I think now we're seeing that aggression come out from them yet again, but they're punished more severely than before, coming out of main. Pushing out a team main has seen no success, actually, when you look at TYLOO. Every time they come out, they just get wrecked. At least the first player does. Somehow they've gotten control of the B side and a bomb plant. Dan King with a one hell of a shot to 9. And it's a 2v2. That's a 1v2. It was perfectly winnable. Little bit of over-aggression. And Dan King's 34 HP. A Deagle and a Dream. He's caught in the open to finish out this round and put 14 on the board for Tiger.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much got everything that Tiger needs so far in this series. Like, Dobu's been decent, Urkus has been playing well, Cabal's performing. Like, there hasn't really been too much of a weak link for this squad, and I think that's always the terrifying thing with this Tiger roster is if everybody gets rolling, they're relatively difficult to stop. Even NCL, to be fair, has had a very, very good game, and on the other side of things, slowly's had a few mishaps. Somebody's been very hit and miss, and it's mainly been aggressive plays. And even Summer, who was having a fantastic start to this match, has now started to cool off a bit. Danking as well. I think the last couple of days has been very, very quiet, which is unusual. Like, no matter what happens, Danking normally puts up numbers. So it seems like teams have finally started to counter what has been consistent aggression. We're going to see the double AWP thrown in for Tiger now, and oh, this is it. TYLOO have to break back here.
It's time to get it done. They need a whopping 7 rounds in a row, a pretty tough thing to get on the T side, and as we said, you know, that was why even with Tiger's history on the CT side, we expected them to have the advantage after they got 9 to start out the T. How do they open this one up again? That upper B pick seems to keep going their way. But they don't do anything with it. What they have managed to do, though, is pull over a second player, or rather a third, I suppose, towards the B site, leaving just 2 on A, but NCL, he catches somebody on the ladder. A snakes and the ladder as NCL. Well, he's got a big bite, taking a kill. And whoa, okay, Nine's given so much access there. They're blatantly unaware of that angle, at least ignoring it. But at least the kills continue to swing back in their favor. TYLOO get to the site. They can get a bomb plant down. If Urcast doesn't go for a crazy push, his teammate's not with him. He's the only one coming up here, and I think he's just going to wait for Dobu to drop on down that ladder and then push and swing around that corner together while the op looks for a pick from afar.
This is pretty much a safe situation if they weren't so far dedicated to the site. Dobu, he's going to get tagged up by the AWP, and of course Danking's going to re-peek it to try and get the trade. It's not going to happen. Dobu will escape. Urkus. Keep going. No. No. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. They missed. Oh, that was really close. Attacker actually died because of it. That was a really bold play from Urkus, and it wasn't that far away. Like, especially after Summer missed the shot, and he's made things costly nonetheless. Their money is not fantastic, but it will actually be enough to scrape out a buy. Oh, sorry, it was Attacker who missed. Oh my god.
Wow.
0.3, 0.274, I think that said.
If they lost the round because of that, oh my.
That was a lot closer than I thought it was. I thought it was maybe just under a second, but yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine losing because you whiffed on a bomb diffuser? That would be shocking. Not even smoked, just standing in the open, staring at you, winning the round. Well, 14-10, at least they've managed to get that one. Now another 6 needed. Still big task and a big ask for TYLOO, but we'll see if they can deliver on it. That train moving over towards upper B. Volley down. Somebody looks to get that peek on upper B, stop anybody pushing down below, stop any smokes.
Interesting he's taken the AWP off of Danking.
True.
Is this like his punishment? He's been put on the naughty step for like facing versus Dobu?
I hope not. I mean, I feel like that just really wrecks you then when it comes down to confidence. If someone's like, here, dude, you're trash. Give me that weapon.
Oh, here we go. Execution onto the B site. 9 in a good position. Slowly is down and out already. XM coming in for Urkus. He's only going to get 1, but he's done his job with the weaker weaponry, and his teammates have come in to clean up the mess. It's left onto somebody with the AWP. Manages the first. He is slowly getting flanked on, but he's hit the second shot as well. Only 2 remaining, and as he goes back up the ladder, is he going to expect anybody to be behind him? I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Is he going to check this box? Surely he's not going to check this box.
Checking everything?
Oh, he almost hits that as well. NCO a little bit slow to react, but it doesn't matter. Somebody can't quite hit that flick.
Wow. Wow. So, with an almost insane clutch coming through, we end up with Tiger on 15-10. And what should be the map going their way, and a good start towards a pretty realistic goal of making it to the finals. I really hope they don't, though. I want Tiger to lose. And that's not because I dislike the team or the players. I just don't want to have to deal with Dinko.
Right. Yeah. I get that.
I called it from the very first moment. I'll just be saying it'll be unbearable.
What was that?
What do you mean? Hey, Dinko. Hey, look at these guys here now. We've got TYLOO. They're looking to take over A site. They're coming through Ivy. Tom, can you believe it? I knew Tiger were going to win this map all the time.
Awful. Just awful.
Hey, they're being rallied. Oh, this is it's a massacre. Slowly is 1 HP down. Look at the HP. It's done. It's done and dusted. Surely,
No, it's not done.
Surely,
It's never done.
Come on. Urcast has got an auto shocker.
Come on. This is a triple K. Even at range. Come on.
No, he's being held by attacker. Jokes aside, the range is a little bit too much, but he comes out and attackers moved. This could be the mistake that cost him. An M4 now picked up a much more deadly weapon, a molly and plow. Oh, the nade! It could even do some damage and take a player down, but it doesn't look like it will. Moving to the site, no info to play off of, no smokes, but they have got a kit. Urcast can bait them out, but there's a player in heaven. Easy kill. Cabal say? Well, no, he doesn't save. He gets wrecked. 15-11. The TYLOO have somehow recovered that round. I'm so annoyed. TYLOO should never have won that round. That should be Tiger going through the map too. Thanks,
It's a
Dinko.
shame that they're not coming back in between the maps. Otherwise, I felt like he might have a few things to say about the current accent you're doing for him.
I reckon
A little
he would.
bit,
Dinko,
little bit thicker.
Dinko, what do you make of it? Hey, I think it's about spot on, lad. So it is. Oh, okay, thanks, Dinko. I was Dingo just coming in for a second.
Can you do Blair's accent as well?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I'm not going to. You're gonna win. Ford Eagles. Ford Eagles, Tom. Ford Eagles.
Three Eagles. 2 Eagles.
You're a non-believer. You voted TYLOO yesterday, and you were wrong. Well, the 4 Eagles that came into this round, well, they'll walk out with the victory. I'll stick to my guns, as weak as they may be. 9.
Well, they have got the stack. That's the only thing that I'm really thinking that could work out for them is they do have all 3 players on this side of the map. However, TYLOO are starting to probe in the other direction. They've thrown a smoke over to Ivy on the A site. I don't know if they're just trying to hold a couple of players there, as they do still look ready and set to head into this B site. It would have to be a pretty mean crossfire to get too much done here. And actually, they should just now be going A. Like, Summer has walked all the way through. I don't know why you would keep going in this direction. They should now know it's clear. And they do it. I feel like Attacker was just sold down the river. Like, yeah, we're going B. Wait, Summer, they're all clear? And Attacker's like, wait, what do you mean? And then he just walks into the stack with an AK.
If we're ever surprised that
One
Attacker
Deagle.
makes a wild decision, I think we're doing it wrong. There goes the AK. It is just 1 Deagle remaining in a 1v3, and you know what, Tom? He's going to win it. No, he's not. He's wrecked from
No
heaven.
Deagles.
15-12. Do we believe in the comeback in the overtime? No.
Yes.
You're ludicrous. I mean, it would be how TYLOO make it happen. We talked before, just at the start of the series, about how TYLOO love to make games as long as they possibly can.
15-10 down
big
versus
fans.
Vici, 15-15. 15-12 down versus Vici, 15-15. This is what they do. The thing is, versus Vici, they didn't win either of the overtime, so that's the only thing we really have in favor of Tiger, is if it does go to overtime, there's a decent chance they'll still be able to win it. The only thing is, I don't know if they'd have the ability to do it. I feel like they have been good. Attacker, okay, that's an AK. Maybe not. It might end a little bit early, as now 9 and Dobu have managed to turn this into a favorable position. Another one for 9. He's done so much in this round, and they're behind him. What? As if that is the round that they win. No comeback to be had. It's the Pistols to take this over the line. A superb performance from Tiger. And they are going to take train. No 2-0 this time.
Not even the force buy. It's the eco that takes them down. That's, well, that's a sad one for sure. You said you believed in TYLOO making the comeback, Tom. Well, you were wrong. And,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. But what a game overall. I mean, we saw Tiger go up 8-2 and then end up in a position where they very nearly lost. And yeah, the ball's on Attacker. I respect it this time. In a pistol. And there's a number of times there, though, where Attacker just makes a wild play. Like, for example, let's look at the last round. You know for a fact there on Nico, he sees a player. Have you ever seen in the movies when,
I want to see
in cartoons in particular,
bam,
you know the thing where they get like a guy shaves his leg and puts on like a lady's shoe with some stockings and sticks it around the corner to lure someone in. It's like, oh, hello. And then when they come around, bang, they get knocked out. It's like that. Pretty much. One guy towards the back of Green Train sticks out his leg for attack and goes, oh, I only have a USP. And he's like, oh, I'm coming. Runs down, and there's 2 guys in the corner ready to just kerplunk him.
And we've witnessed an accent more terrifying than your Dinko accent. That's lovely. Yeah, I think overall, like, Tiger definitely looked like the better squad. I think that it was mainly just individual plays that were able to drag a few of these rounds back for TYLOO. Wasn't particularly impressed with them on this map, but I think that almost just plays a testament to the game yesterday where they managed to beat out Vici, that Vici probably should have won that. And then, well, yeah, round like this, that's ridiculous. That was barely anything invested. I know that Blair definitely would have been going, no, like while that was happening and losing his mind completely. But yeah, we are going to be looking at the overall scoreboard. NCL, a great performance from him. But this is what I mean. Like, when Tiger win a match, it seems like everybody steps up. And to be fair, the frag distribution is kind of ridiculous. Like, the highest fragger in the server was Urkas with 23. The lowest was Slowly with 17. So it seems like everybody's at least performing to a decent standard, but I still don't think we've even come close to the level that we witness from TYLOO.
Yeah, when we look into the next 2 maps, though, Tom, this is where they've got the real opportunity to take it across the line. I think TYLOO, we're going to see a completely different beast from them when it comes down to those. But at the end of the day, 1 map down, the chances for TYLOO to lose now are definitely there. Mirage last time was an overtime win for TYLOO. It was anything but clean. And now as we come into it yet again, well, Tom, it is scary. That's for damn sure. We're going to have to wait a minute before we find out how that one's going to go, though. We're going to throw things to a quick break. And when we come back, Mirage and possibly a 2-0 that TYLOO are on the receiving end of. Stay tuned to find out how that one's going to go. Welcome back, folks. We're ready to go with map number 2, TYLOO taking on Tiger. It is the lower bracket finals to determine which team will go on to meet Vici. That's right, Vici in the grand finals, who now have a 1-map advantage. TYLOO and Tiger have fought out on Train already, and Tiger came out on top, and it was not as convincing as maybe it could have been, the 16-12, considering the fact that they were 8-2 up, but they got there in the end, and that's all that matters. And Tom, last time they played a Mirage, as I said before the break, it was an overtime victory for TYLOO, so things are looking a little bit scary.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, this is a map that they've been very good at historically, but in recent times, it's started to become a little bit more questionable. They lost it to Vici just yesterday. Obviously, they had some troubles versus Invictus earlier in the tournament, and let's not even talk about Hotsai. I don't want to bring them up anymore. But it's one of those maps where it's definitely not been clean, but they are still one of the best teams in the region on it. They smashed Invictus not too long ago. They beat Vici, they beat Tiger, they beat Sigma, checkmate. Like they've made a lot of teams look foolish. And on the other side of things, Tiger, they're yet to sort of have that big victory. Sure, being Invictus yesterday, it seemed like Invictus were flat and Tiger were angry. If they can maybe channel that Tiger again and continue with every single player performing, then sure, they could easily win this map. The problem is, if TYLOO get in form, which that seems to be what we've been saying this whole tournament, which is a weird one, because they were very, very good in the groups, but it wasn't quite as clean as we liked. But if there's any time, it's now. They need to win both these last 2 maps, otherwise they're out. And not even in like a second place. Like that would be weird to me. Like that would be 2 RMR events where they have not finished or not even got to the final. Like I think if we came into this whole system and named that as a possibility, everybody would have looked at us as if we were insane.
That's true. You know, when you look at TYLOO, though, the fact that they've fallen to Vici already means that anything is possible. Absolutely anything. I had I saw, obviously, on HLTV, on Twitter, it was just blowing up, right? Vici have finally beaten TYLOO. It's like when the Rohirrim came back at Helm's Deep and cleared out all the orcs. I'm not a nerd. You are. Screw you. But Gandalf appearing over the horizon. It's Vici looking to save Asian Counter-Strike from what has been a how do you say that? Tyrannous?
Tyrannical?
Tyrannical, thank you. A tyrannical. I could have went with something else, but I wanted to try an experiment a little bit. But yeah, it's been an odd couple years.
I like how you've now switched from the word tyrannical to odd.
Yeah, but the rule of TYLOO seems to be coming to an end. You know, they've been in this position where they've played super loose Counter-Strike for so long, and we have waited, Tom. We've waited and waited for someone to punish them, and finally it happened. But question was it just a flash in the pan from Vici beating TYLOO, or are people starting to adapt in this region and starting to cop onto their tricks? Well, we saw from Tiger in that previous map, there were a couple rounds where they were actually just waiting. They were just stood there like, all right, TYLOO, come on, you push. We're ready for you. We know what you're going to do. And they shut down B and Ivy at the same time. It was fantastic to watch. They were getting trades. They were playing to counter TYLOO, which is something we haven't seen for a while, or at least we haven't seen teams do successfully. Now the question is, can they knock them out and actually really punish them by stopping them getting to a finals?
Well, that's the thing. Like we sort of saw the interview at the beginning of the tournament and almost like sort of scoffed and laughed at like the fact that Tiger said that they were prepared, they were looking for TYLOO, they were gunning for that #1 spot, and we saw them then lose to checkmate and was sort of joking about how they're not even the best team within Mongolia at the moment. And to be fair, the way they looked in that first couple of matches, they weren't. They struggled. But I think it's clear where their time and preparation has gone in. They're ready for what TYLOO have to offer. They were prepared for what Vici had to offer as well. And that's the problem. Like, there's the saying of if you come at the king, you best not miss. Well, it seems like everybody's been ready for the king for quite a while. They put a lot of preparation in. Obviously, they've been watching them from afar. And the fact is, the king may finally fall. And in the most important tournament of all, the road to the major, Obviously, we don't know how many RMR events there are now going to be, so realistically, this might not be the end, even though TYLOO is still going to be at the top. Here we go. They start on the T side.
Look at
TYLOO's road
Urkas.
to redemption. Yeah, Urkas on the flank. Also, he may not even be needed. Their CT side have done a fantastic job. Cabal dropping 3 of the pistols left onto attacker. An absolute slaughter of the TYLOO side. No bomb plant. No real money made, as they don't even manage to get a kill in the pistol round. But of course, that's pistol round number 1. They've got to beat pistol number 2.
You know, I was ready for Urkas to get a sick flank, but it looks like short of him genetically fusing his agent with
damn. How
Usain
did
Bolt, he wasn't going to be able to get there. Look, he W-keyed straight through the A site from the very start of this round, through ramp, all the way up behind them, and he couldn't get to the site in time. That's how quick that round ended. You got to start this one out for Tiger. They've got SMGs. They've got a massive advantage over TYLOO, but with the Deagles, we've seen TYLOO win more than their fair share of rounds, and it starts out with an opening to 9. The A site now under threat. 2 players in CT, 1 towards connector. Great flash over from middle to allow Urkas to entry. Dobu in with another, but Summer, he's already got 2. This is disgusting as Danking looks to do a little bit more, but it ends up in a 1v2 for Summer. Low HP and a very difficult situation as the M4 cleans him up with just 1 bullet. 2-0. Tiger take it. It's not clean. It's not easy. But it is the second round.
I honestly wish we could just give all of Danking's skill to someone with better decision making. Like this turned into a 2v2. The bomb is down, so what he does is he picks it up, or that's what it seemed to be, and then moved it further forward. Oh no, wait, that's the last player. But even still, Danking, they could have just got the bomb down in a 2v2. They were both towards connector, and he just faces them. It's just manic. And I understand wanting to try and get yourself an advantage, but get the bomb down, get some money. Mean that you can have an actual buy into this round. Somebody, his position has been given up, and sure, they've done a little bit of damage off the back of the small investment of pistols. Summer could make this interesting. They should be aware of how much control they've actually given up. The man does have a deagle as well, so if he wanted a chance to take the range fight, but he's going to get up nice and close. That's the freebie. There's still a player on short, though, and it's Cabal. He started this game off incredibly well, but this time they do cross to the site, and Summer, he's got another duel 1. It's on to Urkas to actually ace this one. Somebody's going to be burnt out of the corner. He needs a shot with the P250, upgrade slightly to an MP9. He does have no armor. Oh, no, he does have armor, sorry. He invested into it. I'm quite surprised by that. This duel is a little bit more even than maybe you'd expect. In fact, almost deadly even at this point. And with the bomb in his favor, Urkas needs this kill. Somebody's going to close it. They invested into a few deagles, a P250 Kevlar, and Urkas gets 4 kills, and they still lose.
Mm-hmm. That's where we're at right now. It's not great. But for TYLOO, it's funny how it's not really that different to the previous round. Like, they had the opportunities to win that previous round where they had the 5 deagles. All they had to do was not buy 5, just buy 1 less. No, but in all seriousness, it was a lot of poor decision making, as you were saying, for Danking. You know, you want to transfer his skills over. In this one, I don't know that it was particularly improved, just not tested in the same way, let's say. Cabal opening it up, it's one of the few M4s they've managed to muster up on the CT side, so a very valuable opening pick to try and bridge the gap on the disadvantage that they've got in terms of hardware. TYLOO, well, they just group up and look to push into this A site. 4 players on their way towards the ramp and Palace. And they have no control, which is the problem. You know, pushing into Palace at this late stage is dangerous considering how aggressive Tiger have been playing and considering the buy that they're up against. But they're going to go in. Now, for a second, Summer had the bomb, which is what really scared me. I thought he was going solo with the bomb through Palace, but luckily he's not. He will face off against Dobu, the SMG up close. Dobu will, oh my god, that was a great shot by 9. He's taking the headshot, and even with Dobu falling, they've still got the man advantage, and time is on their side, but a great return by Danking.
Okay. Someone wanting to make sure his teammate's covered and peeks out of the palace. Mental. Absolutely mental, but it works out for him. The peek into the connector, completely unnecessary, but it will give them the 2 versus 1. NCL doesn't have a kit, so he's going to try and tap the bomb to bait them out. Summer, and she's just going to play this smart, just shoulder peeks until he can spot the final man. His teammate also falling back on the ramp. And it is going to be 2-2. I think Summer and Slowly are the 2 players that I want to have in every single clutch situation ever for TYLOO from now on. I even think that if it's somebody else in a clutch situation, they should, like, get up out of their seat and swap places. Because it's just like, that 2v1, very well played. Spot the information, move back, hold the position. The 3v2 is Danking aggressively wide-swinging connector through a smoke. Like, you can do the math. I don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Val's managed to open this one with a little bit of damage to himself. He's been wrecked. But at least they managed to take down Summer. So that's a rifle. Oh, it's an SMG. Retrieve. Attacker, what are you doing? It's pistols. And then we're getting a push coming out from Danking, which I understand. Obviously, he's got the SMG. The attacker was in danger. He got peeked by a lot of players. Luckily, didn't get taken down. And 1 Mac 10 lost. Lots of SMG kills. You'll take that trade. It's worthwhile. Here's the full buy featuring no op for either team. Obviously, more so forced for Tiger. The opportunity is there for TYLOO to take one. SMG to look for entries as they come out of middle and go through the smoke on short. Great decision making. So they've been shut down on 1 kill, and the return there, Urcast not hearing the player coming up through connectors. Summer shift walking. Oh, this is so disjointed, man. One player rushes out ramp while the Palace player is running back, and Summer isn't even pushing the smoke. Then he's seen on the edge of it. Why is the guy going out ramp in that case and trying to get Tetris control when there's no pressure being applied anywhere else? It just means that they're obviously going to feel free to look at you and take that fight. And more importantly, you can't be traded.
Yep, nothing that TYLOO can do in that round, at least. A 3v3. 3-3 scoreline, I should say. We are going to have an investment. Danking able to get his AWP into play for the first time, and there isn't going to be one yet for 9. Much better purchase coming up for Tiger, though. Last round definitely had some pieces missing in their utility department now. That has been maxed. A few kits to play with as well. Obu going to play close to the sandwich. It's looking like TYLOO are just going to play a fairly standard execution into this A site. Oh, already Dobu starting things off fantastically well. He actually gets the kill onto Danking as well, who's holding back with the AWP. The swing almost necessary because he was stuck in the corner. 9 actually going to sit on the other side of the smoke. That's a free kill. Positions not being cleared properly by TYLOO, and now they have to try and make some sort of aggro play elsewhere. Attacker, he manages to catch out one. A re-smoke into connector. At least gives them a little bit of time. But actually, Urka's given his position away. That's information. NCL finds somebody, and now Attacker has it all to do. We saw him win a 1v3 from this exact position before, but I don't think Tiger are going to make those same mistakes.
I doubt it. The attacker's got to do it all and find those opportunities for himself. This Tiger shouldn't be giving this one away. Plan faked out. They're not biting. They're going to allow him to even have that plan potentially. As he goes for the second time, though, they get a little bit curious. Group up, start to push. 1, looking for a second. He almost gets it. If he took down 9, That round was likely going to be his. So a very important kill coming through from the man himself. And now a defuse to bring it 4-3.
Tiger take the lead. For anybody wondering, if Tiger win this map, just this map, TYLOO are out in 3rd place. I don't think many would have predicted that going into the tournament. They haven't been at their best, that's for sure, but to not even make the final, not even lose to Vici, I think that would be a shock. Urkust is definitely looking to play that pivotal role, though. 131 ADR, 9 kills to start. Definitely a long, long way to go. And there's going to be some pistols invested into for TYLOO. As we were sort of talking about, they have one of the best, or they have the best win percentage with these pistols in the world. So don't count them out. Although there's still a fairly high chance that Tiger are going to be able to get this one over the line. You'd hope, at least. Well, again, it's looking like that same A-site execution. The problem I'm seeing from TYLOO, though, is like in the entry department, they're doing very well. Even in some of the after plants, they're doing quite well. The problem is that just their decision making when they actually get towards planting the bomb, they're not clearing angles properly, which is a bare basic of Counter-Strike. The CTs here are somewhat set up for more of a retake scenario. Not going to be facing too much, although Dobu, that is aggressive, but he gets away with one, decides to fall back. They're not going to be able to stop the plant, but they've got a man advantage, and going into a after plant situation, they should be good here. This is very aggressive, though. The T side tried to take control. Dan King needs an instant shot, and Urkus won't allow for that. Summer, however, has managed to find one. He could catch the second player, but Cabal, while peeking through the murder hole, survives. Somebody now lurking back through. They should expect him here. It's the most obvious position he could be. And NCL gets dinked, but that will be all. 5-3. Tiger get it over the line, but it's at least an economy boost for TYLOO.
So all she wrote. But yeah, the bomb plant, it is that little bit of a leg up, I suppose, for the TYLOO side. We talk about the CT side of Tiger. And we talk about it a lot. The last time that they played, when it came down to Mirage, as I said, it was 19-16 in favor of TYLOO. And it started out with 8 rounds on the T side for each team. At the moment, Tom, little bit of a different story. TYLOO definitely not looking as strong in the early game as they have in the past. They did lose the pistol, which obviously does give Tiger that extra little boost. But with a 2-round lead, if they can hold on, if they can win this round here, they're already setting the foundations for a better CT half. And at that stage, I start to worry for TYLOO, because I don't want to say this isn't a team that performs under pressure. I want to say this is a team that hasn't ever had to experience pressure. Not for a long time. I mean, in terms of losing a series, sure, they've been there. We saw it even versus Invictus, but in terms of being knocked out of a tournament, not in the final, that doesn't happen for TYLOO in this region. Sure, if they're playing internationally, but
It did happen once.
it did happen. Yeah, but I mean, like, regularly. This isn't something that they face. They're used to just being the Titans that come in and win. And I'm curious to see whether they've... Oh, that's a whiff and a half by 9. That might cost them the round, honestly. That's huge map control for TYLOO.
Yeah, they're going to give it up. Look to try and keep their weaponry. That's the thing, though. Again, we talk about like these positions for TYLOO. That's such a risky play from somebody, almost as risky as that. I guess for him, it came down to more than just letting them get away with their guns. He wanted to try and kill them off before they could save all those extra weapons. The AK is going to be picked up, though. The AWP also saved. It's not too bad for Tiger. Money will be enough for them to buy into this next round. Both Cabal and NCL have enough to drop a rifle and still buy up some utility behind it. Well, TYLOO need to start building something here. 5-4, it's not a bad scoreline for them whatsoever. But the rounds they've had so far have been streaky. Like, it's been very back and forth. They've been having some silly plays, losing some silly rounds. If they win this one, well, they take the lead. Almost guaranteed. The money won't be great for Tiger.
But they'll get what they need. And at that stage,
they
Tiger,
won't.
they'll plead. And I thought you were going to continue on the rhyme.
I know, but
dropping
that
bars.
rhyme didn't make sense. They won't.
Well, you
they
know
won't
what,
get
Tom?
what they need. They'll
I'm
have no money.
done with you, man. I'm done with you. I like the little boost. Try and get someone coming out of Palace, but it's a full ramp commitment. TYLOO already gotten themselves the bomb plant, and now this is going to be a harsh retake, but Urcast through the smoke catches the head of slowly. 2 players up close and sandwiched, but he actually has supported that op on 9, who's able to take down attacker and stave off any further aggression. They know there's a player in sandwich. Huge info to work off of. Danking needs to hold strong as somebody comes on the flank. He's making his way up behind Connector, but they've spotted him now at 2 versus 2. Time on the T side, though. 12 seconds left. They've got to stick this bomb. The swing has to come through, and Danking's gotten him. A full stick by 9. 5 seconds, and it's done. It's dusted. TYLOO have won the round, and both players are dead. Wow. That is a tight round for TYLOO, but Danking, well, he has just saved the day.
That was a 4-on-2. See, the thing is, like, again, I talk about TYLOO's after plants. Like, the initial player going down's a problem, and I understand that there's a clear need for them to try and be proactive when they've lost a player like that. The thing that really bugs me is that they evidently have a plan for somebody to come in on the flank. But they all push before he can even get close. So, like, 2 of the players go down, and Danking just has to hold the ramp. Now, he does a fantastic job. I'm not going to take anything away from Danking in this situation. He holds the line. He buys enough time for somebody to get in. It's the 2 players beforehand that just go running into the connector. It's like they have 2 different plans on going at once. One is to have this intelligent flank to deny a defusal. The other is to take jungle. You need to do one or the other. Like, if you're going to try and do multiple plans at once, there's a very high chance you lose the round. And unfortunately for Tiger, they just don't capitalize. They needed to kill off one of those players sooner. They don't. And because of that, the round slips away. And they also were trying to fight on 2 different fronts at once. So both teams sort of lacking in the communication department in that round. And well, unfortunately for Tiger, it cost them more than just the round. As said, it was their finances that go in the bin because of it.
If anyone thinks of that as a slight exaggeration, by the way, just think about it from an objective standpoint. Your flanker's coming up to flank, what, connector? If you push connector and take that control, risking your life in the process, as you saw those players die, what's the point of the flank? Is he coming up behind your players? Like, there is no point. So it wasn't even necessarily just the fact, like, if they push CT, it would still be reckless to push. But it's even more so because you're pushing the place that your flanker's coming in on. So now you're just negating the point of your flanker if you succeed. And if you lose, you're making the round so much harder for yourself. So it really doesn't pay off in any way. Which again comes back to the point you're making, Tom, of what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, we've just seen someone get tased. It's a sad sight. It's a 2v3, Tom. If they leave NCL or Dobu unchecked, oh, they've left him on. Oh, that's so unfortunate. A headshot without a kill. That round could have went their way.
It means also that TYLOO have built up next to no cash over there. The sort of anti-eco rounds. I think we've seen a lot of weak anti-ecos from TYLOO, which is fairly uncommon. That's something we talk about with this team, is that, like, even games they've been losing, we've seen, like versus Vici yesterday, I think they were losing like 14-9, and their average of like HP at the end of rounds was the same. Like, very, very close. Because that's just what they do. When they do finally win a round, when they break your economy, they win the anti-eco flawlessly. Today, that's not been the case. Like, Tiger have done a very good job. In fact, they closed the last map playing what was basically an eco round. So, TYLOO have definitely been a bit off today. I also think Tiger are playing well. Well, this round, at least, we are going to see an investment. 9 back on his AWP, being utilized to try and control into mid. It seems like Cabal might even be watching the underpass from short. It's a bit of a risky angle because it means that 9 has to hit his shot, but hey, It's not expected at all. And now you're probably going to see a repeat. That's the force off the angle. 9 doesn't connect. And by this point, Cabal's already left.
So no punishment in mid. A free pick for Tiger. And a good start. The shoulder peak spotted, but 9, he's tagged up. He has to fall back. The molly buys him a little bit of extra time. He's going to look in towards jungle. Really, they need another player to come and support in con. Now, obviously, all of TYLOO, all 2 players are coming in from connector, but they don't know that. They can fully commit towards it. Somebody's tagged down so heavily. Dan King left alone, and they know where he is. He just shut off with the op, giving away his position. He's going to run away and try to save this op. Their money won't be great at all, will it? Because they've won so many rounds now. 3 in a row. They'll get practically no cash, so a full buy alongside this op won't even be possible. And I'm happy to see I did my math correctly. That's the first.
Yeah, this comes back to what I was mentioning before about Antique around. So they've not done a very good job of keeping those clean, which, as said, that's fairly uncharacteristic for TYLOO. They're renowned for winning 4 spies and while keeping their Anticos clean. Because of that, we're going to see a minor investment. But again, the loss bonus is still poor. So even going into the next round, this was a hesitant decision. Dan King's going to go for the opener. Missed shot from 9. I don't know if he expects the AWP to be holding him here. Flashbang off the angle, and that will allow him to escape. Something at least. Don't you dare repeat that.
Okay. I was holding my breath for that one as well, waiting for Cabal to jump, to be honest. I could see it happening. They've got a 3-man stack on B, though, so looking for some aggression wouldn't be completely out of the question. On the B side in particular, where you've got those extra players in case you fall and they rush afterwards. Eventually, with lacking any more information or any further aggression, I think you have to see NCL fall back. But there's the aggression from TYLOO. They're giving away the game plan, and he got up behind Cabal, taken down from short. This is a bit of a disaster. There's T's everywhere. It's messy, and the trades keep on coming through for TYLOO, somehow keeping themselves in it, and they are looking to win it. Damage done to Dan King. He's got an op now, which kind of makes up for his low HP. This is a really tough retake for Tiger, but it's made a little easier with slowly falling. Still Dan King on an op, never an easy opponent. With low HP, the spam through the box proves to be enough. An op saved, a 7th round now for Tiger. And I mentioned last time, both T sides got 8 rounds. Well, this is TYLOO's opportunity to find that little bit more.
They're going to retrieve the double up setup as well. Again, it's kind of weird. It's not like there's anybody like criminally underperforming for TYLOO. It just seems like these rounds where they get into clutch situations, normally we expect them to win, and Tiger have actually done a very good job of actually closing out a fair few of them. I think Urkus has been a big part of that. He's back to his usual self, which is nice to see. After a quieter performance in their first game yesterday. Bear in mind, he absolutely battered Invictus. But yeah, this is the exact point I was making. Normally, we see TYLOO win this stat every time. So I'm glad that PGR have actually been able to bring that up. Because there's 1 round difference, and it's more than double, which is mad. Or it is double.
A lot of the rounds TYLOO have won, though. You know, we've been looking at the likes of Deagles and stuff where they've managed to get it down into like 1v1s or 2v1s in the end. So it makes sense they're surviving with so little HP considering how close their round victories have been. But as you're saying, that's not something that we've seen before. And for Tiger to be more than double the HP surviving, it just shows how much more convincing they've looked.
Exactly.
It's terrifying. It really is. Because if you're TYLOO, this is not where you want to be shaky. It's not where you want to be playing the odds against yourself. Great nade. Damage done to Urkast. He's down to 40 HP, and he should be taken down. They know he's here. Okay, good. They left him unchecked. I would have lost my mind. Ooh. Great damage by TYLOO.
And NCL's going to get in on the action as well, just cleaning things up. It's left all onto Attacker, and he can't get anything done. Tiger looking good on their CT side. Not something I've said too often throughout this tournament. And well, it's going to be another horrible buy for TYLOO. They haven't had many good buys throughout this entire half. Their economy has been ruined so many times.
They win them. This is the thing. Whenever it's the bottom of the barrel buys, that seems to be when they win. I think it's exemplified by, what was it? They came in with full deagles on the second round, lost, and then the third they ecoed and won. And that's how things have gone quite frequently here. Nice deep nade. It's got, oh, look at that. Somebody down to 25 HP. Valuable damage done early on. He lets him by a little bit for eventually swinging on through to the site, and he must be dead. There we go. Oh, what? They looked at him. Cabal pushed through.
Oh,
he had an op there, didn't he?
Yeah, Danking's managed to retrieve it. He's going to go with the Deeg instead. And unfortunately, Mitch, it only works when I predict that they're going to win a force by round. It doesn't work when you do it. You don't have the power.
Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to this if Tiger win. That big smile on Dinko's face.
Got the same smile right now, but for very different reasons.
A bit of sweat on his brow with every round that TYLOO win, because he's thinking that maybe his prediction won't come through.
Oh, we'll see. CT side for TYLOO. We've said they've also had some poorer T sides in this tournament, so there's still the potential for them to bring this back, but they haven't looked particularly good today. Tiger have definitely been the better of the two teams. There's not much of a question there. CT pistol will be important. It's going to be Danking to at least find one back after the initial frag. Doesn't have much support here, but he's still being given the option to fight through. Great flash gives Urkus to peek through the smoke, and Danking just goes running into the fray. NCL should have a freebie, and now it's left onto somebody. 7 HP, 2 players to find. No chance.
Not even a tiny chance. Slowly has got 4 kills, Tom. It's not great, I'll be honest. He was a solo B player in the previous map again. Good towards the start of the CT side and quite poor towards the end. But I wouldn't just put the onus on him. I think TYLOO, they've made some questionable decisions, but Tiger have looked clean. They've definitely looked like the better team. And look, we've said that plenty of times with teams versus TYLOO that, you know, someone looks like a better team, but TYLOO are still winning. But I mean, even as individuals, they're definitely showing up to a greater extent. And right here, right now, Galil's dominating. 3 Galils and 2 SMGs. It's an interesting buy. It gives them a lot more utility to play off of. And considering they're in a 5v2, at this point, I don't even expect they'll use most of that utility. Probably just go in for the dry fights with the Galils and close this one out. Don't go through the murder hole. Don't go through the murder hole.
Oh, somebody not realizing that they have pushed. The bomb's actually still in the spawn, but it's not going to make a difference. 9 will clear things up. 11-6. 5 rounds needed to eliminate TYLOO in the lower bracket. Seemed like an impossibility when we started off the match yesterday. The fact is, no matter what, Dinko is still technically wrong because he did say that Vici wouldn't get to the final. So we can at least have that as a saving grace.
True, true.
No matter if he's right, he's still wrong. But here we go. Danking, this is his, I would say, his signature position. The aggressive ramp play is something that TYLOO pull out regularly. Summer's already dead, though. Man at the back, that must have been killed from short. That's slightly ridiculous. The flashbang comes in. That's going to net a couple of kills, in fact, leaving it onto somebody on the B site. Sure, the aggressive play from Attacker sits around the ramp. It does still look like it's going to be a B player. Dobu, who's gone nuclear in this round. 3 kills with a Galil. He made that look easy. And while it is a 12th, there's nothing that Attacker can do about that.
Nope, not a thing. Just save over this M4, I think, is the only option he has. 12-6. Man, oh man, for TYLOO to go down to Vici and then Tiger afterwards and get 2-0, that would be unbelievable. The streets will be crazy. The parties. I can imagine it now. I can picture it, Tom. The king has fallen. TYLOO have been defeated at last. You can even get like we should have had some sort of a medieval speech, like the king in the dining hall.
I think we should just steal like the North way of removing players, where it just looks like they've killed them off and just put them in a boat, and then it's just like we can just have TYLOO just in the boat burning as they go down the river.
I remember that. I was like, is he dead? Like what?
Yeah, the way when they said who was it?
I can't remember the player.
No, the first one wasn't. It was Kirby eventually, but it was Mitha won it when he went to.
I think so.
Renegades. Like he was the first one. I was like, is he okay? And it's like, oh yeah, no, he's just leaving the team. It's like, why have you made it look like he's died?
Even the phrasing as well was like, today we say goodbye to. It's like, what? What do you mean, dude? Like what? We should do that then. We just have a funeral instead, because that's the Nordic funeral, right? So we just like a coffin, put them in the ground, 6 feet of dirt on top of them. It's like, oh no, they're just going to a different team. That's just what we do here. That was so odd.
And then there's Kirby going, phase up!
Like rises from the ground, just phase up! Oh, yeah, it was unusual, but here we go. An unusual sight as TYLOO behind by 6, half the rounds of their opponents. Now on the CT side, they've got pistols, they've got 1 rifle, and they're going to win this round. They've just picked up another AK. The rifle's now looking to deal the damage. If I'm Tiger, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. They're running in towards an ace stack. 4 players here. Oh, they're not going to win this round over on the Tiger side. They've just been absolutely slapped. This is what TYLOO needed to get back into the game. Dobu, he's so close to getting this done. But 4 HP now. He's been tickled up by the pistols. Cabal's here to help him out, but he can't get the bomb and get out of there. That's the problem. The smoke down as he looks to run away, but it's a spam through the wall that takes him down. 12-7. What a round for TYLOO to win. Jeez. That is a TYLOO round if ever I've seen one.
And so it begins. This is where things start to get a little bit shaky for Tiger. They've still got money for now. And that's the one thing they've been very good at. They've been good at breaking back, not allowing this to snowball into a bigger snowball. As we are going to see the AWP repurchased. Adult battle will ensue once again. Dobu's been phenomenal in this map as well. Gave it a damn good go at bringing that round back, and he has brought them a few on his lonesome. Urkust is back to his usual tricks. Slowly is 5-16. Been a rough day at the office. Bau's not going to be spotted over the top of the smoke, and Attacker actually playing a fairly risky angle now that there's no longer a smoke there. Eventually we'll make the decision to fall back. Will be mid-control eventually taken, but ultimately it's still being fought for by TYLOO.
They've still got the fight in them. But they haven't got the mid-control. Over on the Tiger side, they've given up everything towards A. You see NCL falling back and moving in towards the rest of his team. And I presume then that's going to be a B hit. They want to go down through short 9s, being shut down. No trade possible. Cabal, though, on the bench. And he's absolutely wrecking them. Eating them up like you would a ham sandwich from that bench. Not a big fan of ham sandwiches, to be honest, Tom. More of a chicken and cheese and mayo guy. Myself.
Right.
There you go. Bit of fun facts. As Summer, well, he shuts down NCL. He's got the backside. They can't plant just yet. 15 seconds, though. They've got to go fast. How does he get away with that? Oh, Dobu pulls it off just about the time restraints. It was an op that was holding him, but nothing can stop that one tap.
This man deserves to be in the final. This has been an incredible performance from Dobu. So many rounds that he has managed to win. I think we can pretty much seal the MVP for him now. Like, this is ridiculous. The taps to kill off Danking as well. It looked like he had them dead to rights, and now look at what the purchase is. A Mag 7, an MP9, but you still got that trusty AWP. Is he really going to go back for more? There's a man who's already crossed. Urka's waiting. The fake jump across, and that's perfect. Very well played by Tiger to get rid of the danger man, but Attacker still going to reface here. Cabal will shut him down, and now the 2 weapons remaining, well, the worst ones. A Mag 7 on a retake from CT, but slowly at least. Will retrieve a rifle. You can see the patience of Tiger. I like this, though. They know how aggressive the CT side like to be when it comes to trying to stop the plants. The problem is, I genuinely don't see a way they win this round. Like, slowly has not been good. 5 and 17 now. And somebody, in fact, is even starting to second guess as to maybe this is a B play.
Slowly, he's at least taking down NCL. Here we go with the swing from somebody. He gets over to tall box. Mag 7 now perfectly viable from this position, but he's not going to get anything done, unfortunately. And slowly, well, he meets the same fate. 14-7, Tom. It's getting all too real at this point. I can already hear it in the background. It's getting louder. Hey, I knew they were going to win this game from the very start. 2-0, I said. Hey, boys, did you see I said 2-0? Sorry about that. Dingo just joined the broadcast for a second, but he's gone back to make a ham sandwich again.
Still waiting for Blair to join. Can we hear that?
Anyways, we're looking at 2 rounds needed for Tiger to take this across the line. And did you notice, by the way, Tom, that Dingo is wearing a shirt with white patches on it already? I think he's learned from his mistakes yesterday. He won't have to change his shirt this time.
It's a smart.
It is. It's a smart decision, I have to say. But Tiger 2 rounds away from taking it. Oh my god, what an entry by Urcast. You gotta be careful though. They've stacked up, right? They've got that weaker buy. This is where pistols can come on through, and Danking, well, he's shown exactly what we mean. The problem is, Urcast, well, he's just pulled a Houdini. He's taken the rabbit out of the hat. He was selling the fake, but then they've taken so long to get in the site. What's happened? They just slowed down completely. They were scared of a FAMAS when they had the numbers advantage, and now the rest of the team have rotated in. Big mistake by Tiger. They've got to deal with the player on short. They know there's one side as well. The info is there to play with, so they won't be caught off guard. But winning these duels is going to be hard. NCL dropped to leave 9 in a 1v3. Don't peek this 1-by-1. For God's sake, he's got an op, and you know it. This is scaring me at this point. The swing back out. Oh my god, 9! He's almost got it! They peeked him 1-by-1, Tom. My heart. It can't take much more of that.
What, again, right at the depths, TYLOO are gonna win themselves around. It seems like maybe they're waiting for no one to truly believe in them anymore, because I think we've got to that point. I think even at this stage, Blair might have jumped off the wagon. Who knows? That's it. Yeah, and drawing up a Tiger one as we... From either side, though, has its vulnerability for either sides. What? to do as much damage as I thought. Their second team. No, but Nine's actually not going to... Gives him an angle into the ladder room. Pounce. Danking still here with the AWP. He's going to go spotting into... Urkus is waiting. But he gets shot at just as they opt around the corner. Nice work from Attacker, but it's only... And, well, that's okay. Slowly go... Leaves 3 players standing for TYLOO. They go walking... in with the bomb though. Perfect. Waiting just they make, and he'll be right on their tail to the bomb planter. 14 seconds left for the T's to make their... Somebody's not going to give them anything. And now money truly is in.
I can see Dinko sweating. Game as well. Guns for Tiger, all they need, but... TYLOO, unless some sort of miraculous... I don't know how you say we lose to Glocks in Chinese, but I think we'd find out after. But Tom, it is still a pretty long road, and you know, I feel like we give TYLOO a lot of space when they're in these deficits because we just know who this team is. We know how this time. Maybe we're giving them too much respect.
The way that TYLOO plays, whether they're criminally under up at this tournament, whether teams are fine, or if they're just still... Like, it's really odd. I feel like this watching any other team in the world. Plays occasionally because of their inconsistency. About, whereas with TYLOO, that is some this roster. I don't think they're going to intentionally get 14 to 10. They need every single round to stay in the tournament. That could be enough to destroy Danking. Looking to try and hold Smoke available. About taking plans to hold on to, although never mind, the deep maybe trying to sell things a little bit. They are still holding on to that position, and that aggressive A-ramp hold, something that TYLOO throwing really expected at this point.
How dangerous it's been moved towards. Somebody. I don't think he did. Guessing that was off of time, but in the end, they're coming forward, short, ready to take a kill as they dive on the spin around. Cuts. It's close. Actually, damages up. Leave him on 59 HP. A nade comes through to tickle him up a little bit more. This is looking nigh on unwinnable for Tiger. Immediately, when TYLOO come out, but not finding a thing. They try. Well, it's to be. played with by TYLOO, but he's so low, has to hit the headshot, pulls back in, and then they both going to be hit that shot. He would have to instantly 180 headshot the other player, which TYLOO, they are making this comeback a serious reality.
Yeah, we saw this in those one mistake to inevitably put them out. Pistols, which is likely all we're going to see. It's in. For AKs to this round, I'd be a bit uncomfortable. Players rise to the occasion. As mentioned, Slowly had a very, very poor 17 at one point. He's from him at least there. Of course, an upset round. A shaky round, an uncomfortable round, but a round nonetheless.
14-12, an uncomfortable round indeed, Tom, but as they get it across the line, TYLOO are in a spot now where they're hot on the heels of Tiger, one buy round away from equalizing things up, and this is quaking in their boots. I have to say, if I'm Tiger at this stage, I'm feeling the pressure mount up. They're close to making a book. Excuse me. Or more points. And not only that, Tom, but making it far more likely that they make it to the major. A win in this stops TYLOO from building up maximum points yet again. And that is incredibly valuable for Tiger, who I believe are currently second place, right? They're hot on the heels of TYLOO. Yeah, okay. Well, they're third then. Or Tiger being third, TYLOO down, it'll equalize points up, and then we're looking at a very even region. So this is a must-win. Oh, somebody. You go, okay. The cat will... Prod's cut. He's realized that this wasn't the time to get a grab. And here they come, marching on through. Oh! Cabal! A 5v4. Down goes Slowly. Danking's low. This could have been a guaranteed overtime, but a case.
They're coming back at the depth. Well, they've got to be careful with some of the angles. If truck spot wasn't the one. NCL, nice shot to take one. Got the overtime guaranteed fin of TYLOO.
It's getting... Keep taking TYLOO down. This is not TYLOO fighting, even make it top 3. But crazy money for Tiger, so it does mean winning this by round attacker. Dan King's trying his best. But no! Ah!
Somebody unable to connect their shots, and the bomb is dropped in a bit of an awkward position catch these TYT just in case this, especially with the bomb plant probably going to peek out, is risky. Feed through, does a little bit of extra damage. It means the headshot would be an insta-kill if he finds it, but he takes the tag himself, down to just 49 HP. This is now Tiger's round to lose. 20-odd second, the peek out won't deny any sort of plant. And now it's up to him to try and make this retake a reality. 30 seconds left, and Tiger have made it through to the grand final, potentially eliminating TYLOO along the way, and it is done. Tiger are going to 2-0 the reigning champions of the RMR events, the team at the top of Asia for the last however many years it may be. And while Blair, he can now burn that shirt. It's worthless.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He actually did, for God's sake.
I have my Tiger t-shirt right here, boys. Like right there. You can see that.
I love it.
Okay.
That's
So that happened.
stupidest thing I think I've ever seen.
So that happened. Congratulations, Tiger. Like I won't lie, I didn't expect that to really happen. Dinko, any thoughts? That was the upset of the tournament.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Back to back.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most exciting thing, right? Obviously, jokes aside, and how sometimes I was predicting Tiger to win in situations they shouldn't. This is another game where they shouldn't have won, but showing up and delivering. And the reason I went ahead and said they'll make the final and just made that prediction a while ago is because, honestly, in this tournament so far, I don't think anybody's looked that great. I think everybody's had their weaknesses, and it was the best opportunity because Tiger was starting to peak late into the group stages. We started to see the resurgence from Dobu. Cabal was having consistent performances. And I seen Vici, dropping series here and there, losing Nuke, TYLOO losing maps pretty much the whole way through the group stages, then losing to Invictus that had just previously lost to Huatsai. So the region's shaking up right now, and TYLOO losing back-to-back best-of-3 series and not even making the grand final of a format that looked like it was destined to get TYLOO through is unbelievable. This is one of the most monumental tournaments in Asian Counter-Strike ever, and so Tiger heading to the grand final versus Vici is a huge performance from them. And obviously the talking point of TYLOO just dropping off completely, but I think it's definitely a good time to celebrate with Tiger, and the fact that they've been able to take down TYLOO in actually quite convincing fashion in 2-0. It's not the overtimes that we've seen Vici have to struggle through yesterday, and they've got it done. They're heading to the final, and they're going to be playing Vici. And if I'm Vici, I'm a little bit scared now because, okay, you've had a performance yesterday where you beat Tiger. I think it was a really good day for Vici where everybody was showing up. Even Advent had his moments. So heading into the grand final, Tiger being relatively consistent over the past couple of weeks now. So I'm getting a little bit scared for Vici, especially since they've shown they've been able